You know what's one of the biggest secret culprits for a slow internet? Yep, it's those giant, clunky images we all love. But don't worry, we're not just here to complain about it. Today, we're going to dive into a really cool and elegant solution to shrink him down to size. Let's get right into it.
All right, so let's talk about the real problem here, the hidden cost of all these images.
Okay, be honest. How many times have you clicked on a link, stared at that little loading circle spin, and finally just gave up and closed the tab? We've all done it, right? It's that universal feeling of, ugh, this is taking forever. Well, 9 times out of 10, here's your villain. It's those beautiful, super high-resolution photos. They're like these giant anchors dragging the whole website down, making it crawl at a snail's pace and just eating up your data plan.
But okay, enough about the problem, right? The good news is there's a much smarter way to deal with all this digital weight. Let's introduce the hero of our story, the image compressor.
So what is an image compressor? It's actually a pretty simple idea. It's a tool that automatically takes your images and shrinks the file size, like a lot. But here's the key part. It does it while keeping the quality looking great. It's all about being super efficient. And this thing is packed with some seriously smart features. You can do batch compression. That means you can just drop a whole folder of images in and let it work its magic. It supports all the big formats you'd expect, like JPEG, PNG, and WebP. You can even fine-tune the quality level yourself. Oh, and the smart resizing, that is an absolute game changer for getting your images ready for the web. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine you've got this big, puffy winter coat, right? You can't fit it in your suitcase. But then you put it in one of those vacuum-seal bags and whoosh! It's the same exact coat, but now it's super small and fits perfectly. That's exactly what this tool does for your photos on the web. So how does this actually work? Is it magic? Well, not quite, but it is some really clever programming. Let's pop the hood and see what's going on inside. Okay, so first up is the standard process. It's pretty straightforward. The tool scans for your JPEGs and PNGs, opens them up, and then applies some smart format-specific optimizations. And boom, it saves a new version that's way smaller but still looks sharp. Simple, right? But man, is it effective. But then we've got the advanced process. This is where things get really cool. It takes it a step further. It scans for images, but instead of just optimizing them, it can also resize them perfectly for the web. And then, this is the big one, it converts them into a super compact file format called WebP. And that brings us to the real secret weapon in all of this, the WebP format. Seriously, this isn't just some minor update. You could call it a revolution in how we handle images online. So, get this. If you take a JPEG and a WebP image that look pretty much identical in quality, the WebP file is going to be, on average, 25 to 35% smaller. That is a huge difference. Think about what that does for loading speeds. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's great, but can people actually see these images? And the answer is a resounding yes. You don't have to worry about compatibility at all. We're talking over 95% browser support. All the big ones, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, they all handle WebP perfectly. And look, this chart just makes it crystal clear. You can visually see the difference right here. Look at the bars for JPEG and PNG, and then look at the one for WebP. It's just so much smaller. The proof is right there in front of you. So here's the bottom line when you compare them. JPEGs are great for photos, we all know that, but the files are bigger. WebP, on the other hand, is excellent for all kinds of images. It even supports transparency like a PNG, and it creates those much, much smaller files. It's really the best of all worlds. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the how. Let's get to the why. Why should you actually care about any of this? Let's break down the real-world benefits. Think about it. If you run an e-commerce site, faster product images can literally mean more sales. If you're a photographer, you want your beautiful online portfolio to load instantly, not make people wait. For anyone using a web app on their phone, this means using less of their precious mobile data. And hey, for all of us, it means our photo backups take up less space in the cloud, which can save money. The benefits are everywhere. At the end of the day, it really boils down to this super simple equation. Faster pages equal happier visitors. It's just that simple. When your site is fast, people stick around longer, they engage more, and they just have a much better time. And really, that's the big picture here. Smaller files lead to faster pages, happier users, and a more efficient web for everyone. When we optimize our images, we're not just fixing our own little corner of the internet. we're actually contributing to a better, faster web for everybody. So that leaves us with a pretty interesting question to chew on, right? As our photos and graphics get even more detailed and complex in the future, how is this compression technology going to keep up? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for diving into this with me today.